Hi, my name is Omaira Geraldo and this is the Unit 3 of the Basic Medical Terminology. Self-assessment. Number 1. STEMs. Listed below in column A are 15 of the 100 Latin and Greek terms given to you. In column B are the English meanings of the stems. Match the two and write the English meaning from column B in column A. Example: gland adeno, bone osteo, joint arthro, heart cardio, urine urea, fat lipo, blood hemato, clot thrombo, cell cyto, rib costo, tongue lingua glossa, gallbladder cholecysto, kidney nephrorenal, nerve neuro, stomach gastro, extremity acro. Self-assessment quiz number 1. STEMs. For each of the multiple choice questions below, select the one most appropriate answer. Circle the answer. The stem chondro in the word chondritis means C. Cartilage. The stem myo in the word myoplasm means muscle. The stem hepato in the word hepatitis means liver. The stem adeno in the word adenectomy means gland. The stem myco in the word mycosis means fungus. The stem emesis in the word hyperemesis means vomiting. The stem febrile in the word afebrile means fever. The stem encephalo in the word encephalitis means brain. The stem arterio in the word arteriosclerosis means artery. The stem laparo in the word laparotomy means abdominal wall. Lesson 3, Section 1, pretest number 2. Write your answers in the space provided in each question. Malnutrition means poor nutrition. Noctiphobia is an abnormal fear of night. Dysmenorrhea means painful menstrual flow. Dysmenorrhea means painful menstrual flow. Hydrotherapy is treatment with water. Macrorrhenia means large nose. A baby born with a microcephalus had a very small head. A melanoma is a black tumor. Cyanopia is a defect in vision that causes objects to appear blue. Erythroderma means red skin. A leucoblast is an immature white embryonic cell. Oligopnea means scanty breathing. Bradypepsia means slow digestion. Tachyphagia means fast speech. A monocyte has one cell. Asepsia means absence of infection. Hyperalgesia is increased sensitivity to pain. Hemifacial means pertaining to one side or of the face. Polyarthritis means inflammation of many joints. Pterygium is something produced outside an organism. Pericolic is a word for around the colon. A medication administered hypoglossal is placed under the tongue. Oral means below the ear. Post-cebal means after meals. Ectocyte means outside the cell. An antiseptic is a drug that works against infection. Endocranial means within the cranium. Retrosternal means behind the sternum. Antemortem is before death. Preoperative is before surgery. An interdental cavity is between the teeth. Bilateral means pertaining to both sides. Section 2. Prefix general information. Prefixes are one or more letters or syllables which come before the stem at the beginning of a word to explain or add meaning to the rest of the term. A prefix comes before the stem. In the term unforgettable, forget is the stem and on is the prefix. In the words implant, supplant, and transplant, the prefixes are imp, sup, and trans. You can change the meaning of a term by putting a prefix before the stem. Prefixes are the most frequently used elements in the formation of Greek and Latin words, but not every word contains a prefix. Prefixes may be divided into various categories of meaning depending on how they modify the stem, such as location, time, amount, color, negation, size, or position. Prefixes may be divided into various categories of meaning. To reinforce what you have learned, please write the correct word in each of the blanks in the following sentences. A prefix comes before the stem. In the term unforgettable, forget is the stem and on is the prefix. In the words implant, supplant, and transplant, the prefixes are imp, sup, and trans. You can change the meaning of a term by putting a prefix before the stem. Not every Greek or Latin word contains a prefix. Prefixes may be divided into various categories of meaning. Section 3. Prefixes pertaining to location. We will now study the prefixes that indicate location. The prefix intra means inside or within. The dash after intra indicates that the stem comes after, after the prefix. By combining the prefix intra with the stem abdominal, you know it means inside the abdomen. Endo is also a prefix meaning within or inside. Metro is the stem meaning uterus. Endometritis then is a word which means inflammation within the uterus. Peri is a prefix which means around or surrounding. Cardio is the stem for heart. Pericarditis then is a word which means inflammation around the heart. Ec and ecto are prefixes which mean out and outside. An ectopic pregnancy, for example, is a pregnancy which occurs outside the uterine cavity. M and N are also prefixes which means within or inside. Empyema, for example, means pus inside a body cavity. Retro and post are prefixes which mean behind. Retrocardial means located behind the heart, and postnasal means situated behind the nose. The prefixes sub and hypo mean under. Subcutaneous, for example, means under the skin, and hypodermic needle is one that is inserted under the skin. Inter is a prefix meaning between. The stem costal means ribs. Therefore, intercostal muscles are muscles which are between the ribs. In review, given the meaning of each of the following prefixes which indicate location. Intra, endo, inside. Peri, around. Ec, ecto, outside. En, inside. Retro, post, behind. Sub, hypo, under. Inter, between. To further reinforce what you have learned, write the correct word in each of the blanks in the following sentences. The dash after intra indicates that the stem comes after the prefix. Intra-abdominal means within the abdomen. Endometritis means inflammation inside the uterus. Pericarditis means inflammation around the heart. Ectopic pregnancy is one which occurs outside the uterine cavity. Empyema is a condition where there is an accumulation of pus inside a body cavity. Retrocardial means located behind the heart. Postnasal means situated behind the nose. Subcutaneous indicates under the skin. A hypodermic needle is one that is inserted under the skin. Intercostal muscles are muscles which are between the ribs. Section 4. Prefixes pertaining to time. We will now study the prefixes that indicate time. The prefixes ante and pre mean before. By combining the prefix ante by the stem pattern, you know that antepartum means before childbirth. A preoperative medication is a medication which is given before surgery. The prefix post also means after. Consequently, a postoperative complication is a complication which occurs after surgery. In review, give the meaning of each of the following prefixes which indicated time. Ante, before. Pre, before. Post, after. To further reinforce what you have learned, please write the correct word in each of the blanks in the following sentences. Antepartum means before childbirth. A preoperative medication is one which is given before surgery. A postoperative complication is one occurring after surgery. Section 5. Prefixes pertaining to negation. We will now study prefixes that indicate negation. The prefixes a or en mean without or absence of. Therefore, afebrile means without fever. The stem esthesia means feeling. Therefore, anesthesia means without feeling. The prefix anti means against. The term antitoxin means against toxin or poison. In review, give the meaning of each of the following prefixes which indicate negation. A, absence of, and without, anti, against. To further reinforce what you have learned, please write the correct word in each of the blanks in the following sentences. Afebrile means without fever. Anesthesia means without feeling. Antitoxin means against toxin or poison. Section 6. Prefixes pertaining to amount or comparison. We will now study prefixes that indicate amount or comparison. Uni and mono are prefixes which mean one or single. Monocyte, for example, refers to a single cell. A unicycle has one wheel. Bi is a prefix indicating the number 2. Bilateral then refers to two sides. A bicycle has two wheels. The prefix for three is tri. Therefore, the valve in the heart, which has three parts, is called the tricuspid valve. A tricycle has three wheels. The prefix quadri means four. A person with quadriplegia has paralysis in all four limbs. The prefixes multi and poly means many or much. A person with polyneuritis has inflammation of many nerves. The prefixes hemi and semi mean half. A person with hemiplegia has a paralysis on one half of the body. A person who is semi-conscious is half conscious. The prefix hypo also means too little or low. Therefore, a person with hypotension has low blood pressure. Hyper is a prefix that is just the opposite of hypo. Hyper means above or high. A person with hypertension then has blood pressure above the normal or high blood pressure. Emesis, as you know, for lesson 2, is a word that means vomiting. A word that means excessive vomiting is hyperemesis.